Salty, so salty, so salty. All you
Sony.
salty.
Sony's had better conferences. I think the thing with Sony, their conference was good. Their conference was really good this year. But they have just come off two incredible, like, legendary E3 conferences. With last year and the year before. Like, they've just come off so many good conferences that this year they didn't achieve that level. So people are thinking it's a bad conference. It's not a bad. It's still a great conference.
Right.
It's just not insanely, like, they clearly won. Everyone was not expecting that. There were a couple of moments there that, they did. Some of the bad things for me were Skyrim. Stop it. Skyrim VR. Let it die. Just let it die. Why can't these console manufacturers and people just let Skyrim go? It is not a new game anymore. Stop it. I'm not a hater. I love Skyrim. I put hundreds, I don't know how many hours in Skyrim. Like, I like Skyrim, but it just, no. Stop it.
That's fair enough.
Another bad thing was they ended the conference on a game that was already announced. They showed gameplay of Spider-Man, which the Spider-Man game looks awesome. But I don't think you should end a conference on a game that's already announced on new news. You shouldn't. They would have been much better, in my opinion, having ended the conference with Shadow of the Colossus or Monster Hunter. If they had added those,
Agreed.
it would have been a much better conference. Show Spider-Man before and then right off, be like, all right, we got these two more trailers, two surprises. Thank you guys. Have a good day. And they just show those two trailers back to back. Boom. Conference score automatically goes up like 5 or 7, like a whole point. You know what I mean? Like 0.5, 0.7 points. The good things for me, Days Gone. Days Gone looks awesome. Very excited about it. Monster Hunter announced. Looks good. I remember way back in the days when I used to get, was it Game Informer magazine? And there was one magazine I always kept because it had Monster Hunter in it, and I wanted Monster Hunter so bad, but it never came to the U.S. Anyways, Shadow of the Colossus, it just looks great. I hope the camera work is good, because the whole thing. God of War, new gameplay. They showed new gameplay that revealed some story plot points, which is awesome. Detroit Stayed Human. The trailer for Detroit Stayed Human that they showed made me way more excited for that game than I was. I was not excited for that game at all.
Did it?
And yeah, that trailer, I was like, I like that. They showed me more about the consequences and your decisions. It made me more. Now I might give it a shot now. Before I wasn't.
I need to go rewatch the trailer because I saw it and all I could think was, what was the MMO not MMORPG, the MMO first person shooter that we played for a while. I'm blanking on the name now. The Tom Clancy.
MMO? Tom Clancy?
Yeah, it's like an MMO. That one.
The Division?
Game. Division, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah.
Not MMO, but
yeah.
Yeah, man. I saw it and I'm trying to find the difference because to me it felt like a Division set in the future because he's jumping on drones and pulling them down and stuff like that.
No, I don't think it's so. I think
I'm wondering what the difference. If I already own Division, I'm wondering what benefit do I get from.
It's not the same game.
Route.
It's not the same game. It's not. No, I don't think. I think I think you're getting the wrong impression for that game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting the wrong impression for that game. But I believe it's from the same people. Isn't it not from the same people that made Heavy Rain and all that? Oh man,
I don't recall.
I might be really wrong on that. But I that's the vibe I got. It's more story driven. It's not massively multiplayer online, I don't believe. But yeah, at least I like that trailer. It gave me a shot. It gave it a shot with me. Another good thing is they didn't do a lot of talking. There was a period there where they were just showing games, and that's awesome. The same thing with Microsoft. Big points there. Yeah. Just show games, man. Just show games. Talk when you have to talk to clarify some things and explain some things. But if you're not, if you're just talking for the sake of talking, no, get off the stage. So that was really good. And then Spider-Man PS4 looks awesome. That game, I never would have thought that I would buy a Spider-Man game, but Yes, I probably am. I probably am going to get a Spider-Man game. Insomniac, just great studio. I have confidence. It's I like it. That's my good and my bad for Sony. What are yours?
I was pretty similar. I like that they did show a good section on VR. I feel like I actually saw an article recently pop up on I want to say it was Forbes, but it might not have been. But anyway, they're talking about PSVR and is it still worth it? Are they doing enough? Because they obviously hyped the VR experience. So I guess tying that back to the conference, I'm glad that they said, hey, we're still focused and there's still a big emphasis and push on VR. So everybody who bought into the PSVR experience, hey, there's more in the pipeline coming for you. So I know you're not a big Skyrim fan, so I know you're a Skyrim fan.
I am.
But
they just need to let it go. Stop trying to make it new.
Well, at least you can get some sort of Elder Scrolls experience in VR now. So
yeah, but I already played Skyrim.
It had to be one of them now. It's in VR. Yeah, but hey. So I did like the God of War stuff. I like the Destiny 2. Right, showed some in-game footage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's kind of cool. Days Gone, Monster Hunter World, Shadow Colossus, kind of the same stuff that you talked about. I did like the Uncharted intro. Yes. I like how much time they dedicate to Uncharted. There's some games where it's like, okay, you really got to finish.
Uncharted is great, yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's one that they really like tell a story, kind of going through, and I enjoy it. It was cool.
So I do want to point out that throughout some of these conferences, I don't mention some games. That's because I feel like it was a given that they were there.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So they didn't really affect the score too much. So that's why I don't mention like Uncharted and certain games. Like if they show Uncharted and they show me something that I didn't know, then I'd probably mention it and I like it. Like God of War. Like I knew God of War would be there, but they showed some good story plot points and some new stuff that I wasn't aware was gonna be like. But yeah. So I just want to clarify on my end that VR and stuff like that, like it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, so I didn't add it to mine. It's just So,
fair enough. Yeah. So no, that was kind of it. We saw a little more Horizon Zero Dawn and the Frozen Wilds stuff. That's kind of cool. It was good. It's like you said, it's they said, okay, we've got this time, we've got this section blocked off for E3. What are we going to do with it? And they made it about the games. And again, like we said with Microsoft, they made it about, and when you make your E3 conference about the games and not about you and not about talking and selling, when you make it about the games, to me, your score is going to be a lot better. Even if the games aren't necessarily new or whatever, like if that's your focus, to me, you've got your heart's in the right place, and to me, you get points for that. So I did appreciate that, but that was probably the extent of. I mean, they announced there's a lot of other games. So if you haven't seen the conference, definitely go see it. There's a lot that they talked about there. But anyway, that was my big thing. Is I liked that they talked about VR, and I liked.
So what's your score? What do you give it?
Sony score. Drum roll. That was a good drum roll, right?
Yeah, that was.
I've done worse. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Ooh.
Where are you at?
7.5.
Where am I at?
Where am I at? 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah, I gave it a 7.5 as well.
It was.
Yeah.
It was initially when I first saw Sony and I saw the list, I gave it an 8, and then I rewatched everything and went through, and put it at 7.5 because I think that's a good solid place for it. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It just
very,
wasn't the best
solid.
one this year.
Right.
Yeah. Which they were the past like 2 years. They were definitely by far to me they won.
Yeah. I would say their E3 last year was like 8.5 or more.
Oh yeah. That was in the 9s for me.
Yeah. And then it's a different thing, but like their PlayStation experience was also would have been way, if we did a similar, kind of comparison ranking, man, their PSX was good. Yeah, just to be clear, when they announced like Final Fantasy VII, whatever year that was, and all those things, that was definitely up in the 9s. Yeah, that was in the 9s for me. There's no conference in the 9s for me this year here. Yeah.
So I just want to point that out. No conference this year got in the 9s for me. 8s is the highest I gave to anyone. So a 7.5 is still a very good score in my opinion. It is just not the best this year.
So salty, all you gamers salty.